Hey everyone, welcome to another video on the channel. Today, we're going to talk about why I didn't upload a video last week. And it's very important because it's what I'm going to be talking about in this episode, which is caffeine and the truth about it after you quit, and also the withdrawal process and stuff like that. I have done it 3 freaking times at this point in the past year and a half, because every time I'm like, dude, I'm better. I'm going to be perfect. I am calm, it's gonna be amazing. And then I'm like, I can't be productive. Oh no, let me take some more caffeine. And then the cycle continues. So before we start out with this story, I want to start out with how I started taking caffeine in the first place. And just like many people in the world, I was a gamer. I'm still a gamer, obviously. And unfortunately for me, and for everyone else who's a gamer, we like to have soda. So I had a lot of soda, which had a lot of caffeine in it as well. So I was probably taking some caffeine like 2nd grade, which surprisingly, that's around the same time I started to stutter. But let's get into that later. So I started out with soda, and then moved on to pre-workout stuff, where it gives you a boost of energy, which is basically caffeine and a bunch of other crap inside of it. And then I moved on to caffeine tablets after the fact. So let's begin with my first withdrawal. So the very first time I quit caffeine was in 2017 in September, and that was really weird because I just eased off of it for like 2 months or something, and it was very easy. Don't get me wrong, it was extremely difficult on those days that I cut down on half of a tablet, because at that point I was taking caffeine tablets. They're 200 per pill, milligrams at least, and that is basically 1 cup of coffee. So by the time I got off of the caffeine for the first time, I basically, was really productive. I did all this stuff. That was at the peak of my health in a very long time. I was about 190 pounds at that point. I was eating correctly for the most part. I still had pizza from time to time, but I did have like rice, beans, chicken, good, in my tummy. It's all great and dandy. So that was cool until I noticed my energy declining at around February. And it was when I was streaming at the time. I was streaming basically every day. And then someone came in and they were like, "Why are you so chill?" I'm like, "Wait, I've been off the walls this entire time. What's the deal?" I need to be more productive. So unfortunately, I took some more caffeine with L-theanine, because that was supposed to lower down the effects of anxiety and the other effects that caffeine gives you that are bad side effects. And that really didn't work. It just got me hooked to freaking caffeine anyways. And the pills were more expensive because it had like freaking both of them combined, so you can take them at the same time. So that sucked. So then after that 3-month span, it was about June or May. It was May that I tried to withdraw again. And that was right when family visited to help out with my sister moving. So unfortunately, like, that withdrawal, I had no more pills, so I'm like, I'm gonna go cold turkey. Don't do that! Don't go cold turkey. It's terrible. You feel all the effects, which is like flu-like symptoms, fatigue. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And my family thought it was allergies. I'm like, I haven't had allergies since I was like 8 years old when we went to that beach. So I'm like, okay, I will take Mucinex or something. So after about a week of having very bad fatigue and flu-like symptoms and not being able to breathe out of my nose, I got off caffeine once again. But then I got back on it after like 2 months again, because I was like, I need to be productive again. Stop. This is not how this works. You don't fix something with your energy levels by taking caffeine. It just masks the problem. So this last time that I quit caffeine was in April. I started in April, which is about 2 months ago from this video. I weaned off of it again. I had enough pills that I could just cut them up into each individual part and take about, I ended up taking like 10 milligrams by the end of it, but it took me like a month and a half to do so. And it worked, I didn't have that much crazy crap going on. I did feel really tired because, that's what happens when you get off caffeine, because you don't have that burst of energy. But then after a certain amount of time, it will even out so that your lows are not really low, but your high is not really high, so you're just stagnant in the middle. So that was cool. And then I got really fatigued again, like last week. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So apparently, anytime I would eat food, I would go into like a food coma, regardless of what I ate. That's terrible, okay? So I would eat food after waking up and then going right back to bed for like 4 hours. And I'm like, what's going on? There's something wrong. So turns out, if you eat like crap, you're gonna feel like crap. So I got some food. I got some food. I got some chicken, some beans, some rice, some veggies. And we are going in with the diet, right? Going in with the diet to get ourselves energized. That's what the word is. And it's been about 4 days so far, which has really helped me out a lot. I am already losing weight, and I feel a lot better about myself, and not fatigued all the time, so I actually work. So the pros of cutting out caffeine altogether are really good because, like, after a while, your energy levels will stabilize if you're doing everything else correctly, and you'll feel a lot better about yourself, and you won't have that much anxiety anymore. Like, I have basically 0 to none. Well, is that what the thing is? 1 to 0? 0 to none? I don't know. And I know when my body is telling me to work on something, because that was like my main problem with caffeine, is that like it doesn't like you don't know what's wrong with you when you're having anxiety from caffeine. So you're like, what's wrong with me? What can I change? You don't know, because there's no way to tell with the variables that you can see. So at least with like when you're normal, it'd be like, oh, it was because of that pizza. Oh, it was because of that cheese. Oh, it was because of those chips or something. You know, who knows? But the cons are also extremely high once you quit caffeine, because if you don't have everything correct in like your food habits, your exercise habits, every kind of habit that you can possibly ever have for yourself to keep a healthy body, you're gonna feel it. And it's not a pleasant feeling, because you have so much fatigue and you just want to sleep all the time. And that just perpetuates the scenario. That's the word. And you won't be able to fully function as a human, as humans are supposed to act. So that sucks. But like I said, it's a lot easier to figure out what's wrong with you after you cut caffeine, and you'd be like, oh, let me add in this now. Oh, let me add in this now. And then when you stop doing that one thing, you'll feel like crap. And you're like, oh, I better do that again. It's really interesting to me that caffeine like masks that stuff inside of your system, so you don't really know what's wrong with you. And like you just go about your day like, oh, I'm fine. I can still work. I'm energized. It's perfectly fine. Woohoo! And in all actuality, you're feeling like crap inside, but your mind can't see it because of all of the caffeine particles in your glands or whatever the frick. So the way that cutting caffeine has helped my stutter and speech impediment is that I'm a lot less aggro. I don't have anxiety all the time, and I'm just there. I'm chill. I'm zen, dude. And I'm not really overthinking things anymore with that stuff. And when you cut caffeine, your adrenal glands or whatever start to get a lot less messed up, which they do with caffeine, because once you take caffeine, it blocks those receptors, and you're not able to have dopamine, I think. Yeah, so you have like a dopamine deficiency, there it is. And you won't be able to really increase those levels until you quit caffeine for a while. It's probably going to take me a very long time to fully get back to where I was if I didn't take caffeine ever in my life. But I'm feeling better every day, and that's just all depending on, once again, my diet and everything else. So, and amount of sleep too. Sleep is a huge deal. And another thing that is weird about caffeine withdrawal, well, like this time at least, is that my sleep schedule got totally screwed up. Like, no joke. When I quit caffeine, I was getting up at like 11 or 10. I don't remember which one it was. Probably one of those. But now I'm going to bed at like 8 in the morning. And I can't stop it, because it's like, okay, let's turn back time every hour, every day, and hopefully get back to where I was. So hopefully I can get my sleep schedule all figured out, because Mario Maker 2 comes out next week. Next week on the 28th. So I'm going to be trying to stream that all the time. Hopefully So I'm going to try to get my sleep schedule all together before then. I might make a video about my trials and tribulations about trying to fix my sleep schedule. It would be kind of neat to have something other than the green screen on the background, so look out for that maybe. But that was my situation with caffeine for the past year and a half, and my entire life basically. If you did enjoy any point, don't forget to leave a like on this video. Tell me your experiences with caffeine if you want me to. If you want me to. If you want to, in the comments, I would love to read them. I read all the comments, and I try to reply to them all the time. Anyways, everyone, see you later. Peace.